Hey folks, welcome to Fyreflye's Follies. I hope that you enjoy the video today. If you do, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out, and if you have not subscribed yet, I hope that you will and that you'll stick around for a while. So today I am going to be canning up some ground beef, and I'm going to pre-cook my ground beef this time. This is 80-20. For raw packing, I like to do 90-10. Any other, I generally cook it. So I have got a chub of beef here, and it's actually, this is a 10-pound chub, but I'm going to be making some freezer casseroles for a friend of mine that is having a procedure done, and then whatever is left, I'm going to can up. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of this into my stock pot. This is my biggest stock pot, and I'm going to let it start cooking down, and as it cooks down, I will break it up, and then I will drain it. And what I don't use for casseroles, I will can. So I'm going to let this cook for a while, and it will take it a while. It's a lot of ground beef in there. So I'm going to let this cook for a while, and when it's time to do something else with it, I'll bring you back and show you. So today I am canning ground beef. Now, a lot of times I raw pack my ground beef, but I only do that if I have like 90-10. This was 80-20, and I cooked up, this is about 5 pounds. So I am going to can this in half-pint jars. It's already been cooked, and it's actually been cooked and rinsed. So I'm going to add a little beef stock to it once I get them filled up. And I'll get about half a pound into each of these half-pint jars. Give or take enough, not enough difference that it's going to matter. When I make, it's just me, so when I make a recipe that calls for a pound of ground beef, I end up cutting it in half anyway. So this is just convenient for me to can them in half pounds. If I were canning them in pints, it would be roughly a pound per pint, and I would do them exactly the same way. If I were canning in quarts, it would be roughly 2 pounds per quart, and I would increase the cooking time from 75 minutes, or the pressure time from 75 minutes to 90 minutes. So I am going to start filling my jars, and a pound of ground beef cooked is approximately 2 cups. So I am very hopeful that I will be able to get 1 cup into each of these jars. Y'all, this is really simple. I cooked the ground beef, I rinsed it, and now I'm just going to start filling jars. I'm going to put roughly a cup in each one, which is about a half a pound of ground beef. Now, I have my canner over here, but it is not turned on. It's been checked. It's got cool water. It's not cold water, and it's not warm water. It's just kind of room temperature water in it. And my beef is cooled, but not at room temperature yet, so it's going to have some little clumps in it because it's a little cooler. But I'm pretty sure I can break those up as I go. And I am going to pack this to about a 1-inch headspace, roughly, and then I'm going to add some beef broth to it and debubble it, and then I might need to add some more broth once it's debubbled. So I'm going to go ahead and get my jars filled. it, that actually worked out really well. I ended up with 10 half pints out of that 5 pounds of ground beef. So I'm going to grab my measuring cup and I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup-ish of beef broth to each one of these. And then I just have some beef broth. It's wintertime, I keep beef broth in my refrigerator because I like a warm cup of beef broth every once in a while if I'm starting to not feel really well, if I'm starting to feel a little down, dragging a little bit. So I'm going to put roughly, not exact, just roughly a 1/4 cup of beef broth in each of these. Now, if I were raw packing it, I would not do this, but because this has been cooked and rinsed, there's hardly any fat left in it. Okay, now that I have my jars filled, I'm just taking some plain white vinegar and a paper towel, and I'm going to clean the rims. Now I'm just going to put my lids and rings on fingertip tight and set these over into the canner. And I am going to bring my canner up to temperature slowly because this is cold. I'm not just going to crank the heat on it. I'm going to bring my canner up to temperature, and once it's up to temperature and starts to steam, I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes. Then I'll put the weight on and I will bring it up to pressure, and once it's up to pressure, these are going to go for 75 minutes. Pints and half pints for me to 75 minutes. If I were doing pint and a half or quarts, I would go 90 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all loaded in here. Get the lid on and get them processing. Once they've processed, I will shut the heat off. I will let it come down off of pressure naturally, and then I'll take the lid off and let them sit for about 5 minutes. And once they reach that point and it's time to take them out, I will bring you back and show you how they turned out. Okay, I brought the canner up to steam and let it vent for 10 minutes. Then I brought it up to pressure and I let them process for 75 minutes. Then I let it come down off of pressure naturally, and I've had the lid off for 4 or 5 minutes. I've heard a few of them seal, but I'm going to start taking them out. I'm not sure how good the lighting is and if this is going to focus, but it's just beautiful cans of ground beef ready to use. It's about a ½ pound per jar. And if I have something that I absolutely need a whole pound for, I can always open 2 jars. But typically, most of the recipes that I cook, I use a ½ pound at a time because it is just me. Oh, I heard another one seal. Off camera, I had just enough space for 1 more jar in the top of my canner, so I took some of the beef out of what I'm going to be using for chili and filled 1 more jar so that I could fill up my canner. So I actually have 5.5 pounds of ground beef in jars ready to use that's on my shelf stable. This will keep for as long as the seal holds. A couple of years is about the longest I've ever had it, not because it went bad, but because that's the longest I've ever actually had it without using it. With this is probably enough to last me 6 months or so, and if I catch some on sale again, I will can some more and add to my pantry. So I'll leave them sitting here overnight, and tomorrow I'll come back and I will take off the rings, I will check the seals, I will wash and label the jars, and I will put them away. I really hope that you enjoyed the video today. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel, and if you have not subscribed yet, I hope that you will and that you'll stick around for a while. If you hit the notification bell, YouTube should notify you when I upload a new video based on your settings. Y'all, thank you so much for watching today. Y'all have a great day.